Bitcoin payment processor soon to be essential for websites and local businesses. What is the Bitcoin payment processor? No one can deny that cryptocurrency is infiltrating all aspects of business and transactions worldwide. It takes us back to the days that the banking system created the debit card. At that time, most businesses took only cash or check. As more debit cards started landing in more wallets and purses, businesses had to take notice. People enjoyed the convenience and ease of using debit cards. Slowly, major corporations started to make changes to keep up the new financial times. McDonald's was one of those giant corporations that began hearing complaints from their customers, and less customers started carrying cash. This forced McDonald's to do a huge makeover in their payment processing system. We are again entering a time of change where more and more people are asking businesses if they take cryptocurrency, and particularly Bitcoin. In this article, we will cover Bitcoin payment processing systems along with the pros and cons. Bitcoin payment processor soon to be essential for websites and local businesses. The Bitcoin payment processor is a platform that helps merchants to accept Bitcoin currency in exchange for goods and services. It can be in the form of an online service to process digital payments, or it could also be used in brick-and-mortar shops, or both, or even an ATM. This payment processor is essential for retailers who want to accept Bitcoin payments in their stores. All they need is a device or service that can make the transactions, and the funds will be sent directly to them. The great thing about this is that even merchants who do not have any interest in the currency can still use it to increase their profits. They can accept a currency that only takes up 1% of the transaction cost versus traditional credit card payments, which take around 3%. It's no wonder why there are already over 100,000 merchants who receive Bitcoin payments worldwide. What are its main benefits for merchants? Bitcoin transactions are fast, efficient, and secure. The fact that it is decentralized with no authority and control gives merchants peace of mind when doing business online with clients who may not be trustworthy. This form of currency also increases the available global market, since anyone in any country can receive Bitcoin payments without abiding by a specific country's laws or regulations. Lastly, paying for goods and services with Bitcoins can result in tax deductions depending on where you live. What are its main benefits for customers? Bitcoin payments are easy to make, especially for online transactions. All you need is a wallet address to receive the money. It is also fast for payment processing, since it does not have to go through verification or approval from banks. Unlike traditional currencies, which can take days before the transaction goes through, there are no limits on how much you can send, and transaction fees are minimal compared to other forms of currency. How does it work? With the currency's decentralized nature, there needs to be a way for users and merchants to send and receive money online. This is where the Bitcoin payment processor comes in. The payment processor provides a platform that allows retailers to accept Bitcoin as payment for their products. Who holds authority over it? Unlike traditional banking systems, Bitcoin has no single entity that controls it, like government regulations or official organizations. As mentioned earlier, this is one of the reasons why merchants are drawn to the Bitcoin payment system. However, despite not being regulated by a single entity, there are still rules that must be followed for the system to work. The community has set rules and regulations on how transactions should be done, and these are referred to as Bitcoin protocols. Some potential problems with Bitcoin payment processors. The decentralization of Bitcoin is both a blessing and a curse. Since there are no rules involved in the transactions, some users abuse the system by resorting to illegal activities or even money laundering. Since this form of currency is unregulated, it can also make tracking down suspicious activity difficult for companies that are tasked with determining how the funds are being used. Bitcoin payment processors vary in how they operate, increasing the need for market research on what platform will work best for your business. Some systems have been hacked due to their vulnerability caused by not having the proper security measures in place on their end. Even with the possible problems that may arise when using the Bitcoin payment processor, it remains an efficient alternative to traditional payment methods. The transactions are secure and fast, making it a popular choice among online merchants. The low fees involved in accepting Bitcoins are an incentive for them, since they can use these savings to lower their prices or invest in other marketing activities. Bitcoin has its advantages and disadvantages, but this currency could change how businesses worldwide function if appropriately managed. Its decentralized nature allows anyone who accepts transactions to do so without having to abide by complicated laws or regulations, allowing small businesses to become more accessible. The benefits of doing business with Bitcoins far outweigh its disadvantages, considering that one can accept payments without worrying about hefty fees tacked on by traditional payment methods.